Melissa's breaths came in short, panicked gasps as she huddled in the corner of her bedroom, the darkened room swallowing her in its oppressive grip. Shadows seemed to stretch and twist, forming ghastly silhouettes that reached out to her, their intentions unclear and menacing. She could feel her mother's presence, her disapproving eyes watching from the abyss. But strangely, a sense of urgency rather than malevolence accompanied this spectral presence. Sarah, her stepmother, stood at the doorway, her face a mixture of concern and determination. It was time for the truth, a truth that had been veiled in whispers and half-truths for too long. "Why did my mother hate you so much?" Melissa's voice trembled, but the defiance in her eyes spoke volumes. Sarah stepped forward, her figure framed in the dim light from the hallway, casting long, thin shadows that seemed to dance with the flickering of the lamp. "Your mother, Melissa, loved your father deeply. When he remarried me, she couldn't bear the thought of anyone taking her place in his heart or in your life. Before she died, she cursed us, binding us to this house and its haunting spirits." The words hung heavy in the air, their weight pulling the room into a thicker silence. But as they settled, a troubled yet resigned understanding began to form in Melissa's mind. Her mother's actions were not born out of hatred, but out of a sorrowful obsession, a love twisted by loss. She wanted to protect both Melissa and her father's memory, albeit in a misguided way. In the weeks that followed, Melissa found herself often staring into the void, waiting for the inevitable appearance of a ghostly form. But rather than cowering, she began to confront them. She realized that the spirits were reflections of her own fears, memories, and unresolved emotions. Gradually, the dark, suffocating atmosphere of the house started to change. The shadows were still there, but they no longer filled her with dread. They became like old friends, familiar and almost comforting. Melissa's interactions with the spirits became less about fear and more about understanding and helping them find peace. Her newfound acceptance of her abilities marked a profound shift. The cold, blue-tinged halls of the house slowly warmed to golden hues. The oppressive darkness gave way to soft, welcoming light. Her relationship with Sarah began to mend and strengthen. The eerie silence was replaced by conversations filled with honesty and genuine connection. The house once filled with sorrow and anger was now a sanctuary of understanding and love. And as Melissa stood in the living room, bathed in the gentle glow of the setting sun, she felt her mother's presence for the last time, not as a looming shadow, but as a peaceful spirit, content and at rest.